multiprocessor operating system. Is it audible? My voice is audible. Is my voice is audible, right? So multiprocessor operating system. Now in this multiprocessor operating system, so there are many processors will be there. So here several means there are many. That can be one, that can be two, that can be three, four. There are many processors. So the many processor that they're sharing common physical memory. Here memory means we can store the data. So they share common physical memory. So that type of operating system it is. Multiprocessor system provides. So what is the advantage with this is it will provide high computing power and speed. Means we can complete any task within less time, within fraction of seconds you can say, or minutes you can say. So that is an advantage with the multiprocessor operating system. Desktop system. Next one, desktop operating system it is. We can say we can use it in a personal computer. We see in a personal computer PC. So that is that type of operating system it is. Next important one is distributed operating system. And this distributed operating system is very powerful. And this operating system is less expensive. It is less expensive, and communication technology also very advanced communication technology in this type of operating system. So here the distributed here, it will distribute into multiple systems. So that is many computers. There are many computers which are interconnected by communication network. Example say this is one computer, this is one computer, this is one computer, this is one computer. So they interconnect each other. So this type of operating system is called distributed operating system. So there are so many computers are interconnected. So that is one. Here one advantage is client server system. Client server system one advantage is here say this client is called all your computers. So this computer, so any software is your client. So in between there is a network, internet is there. Now here the server here, it is, we can say storage, or we can access this we can access storage and access. So this is client server. So client send the request, and the server will give the response through this network. If this network is not there, this client server cannot communicate. So network must be there to access the server storage data. So for that we require client. So here so many clients are there here. So many clients. That is, and peer-to-peer system here is your peer-to-peer system. This kind of peer-to-peer system. This is no, each CPU is connected to memory. This is one CPU. This is one CPU. This one CPU. So here peer-to-peer means one to one. We can say that one to one, one to one. You can say one to one, peer-to-peer. So clustered system is clustered here is it is grouping. Here cluster means grouping, grouping, grouping all all individual system, grouping all individual systems to complete one task. That is cluster here. So for this we require the network. We require network, local area network, LAN. The last one is real-time operating system. Real-time operating system. So it gives the maximum time for each of the operations. This real-time operating system gives maximum time for each operation. So example here you can understand operating system calls. Operating system calls, for example, for this. So these are the types of operating systems. So these are all types of operating system. The last one is handheld, is a device actually. Handheld is a device, is a personal assistance, digital assistance it is. We can say that in a cellular device it is. So this also is having a network and internet. So these are the all types of operating system. The next most important question is one question. One question is types of operating system. This is one expected question. The next expected question is functions of operating system. These two questions, any one question or two questions you may expect in the exam. Like functions of operating system. What is an operating? In short, we can call OS. So we understood it is an environment. It's an environment. We can understand with our example, regular life example, that an operating system is an environment. We can say that. Example, if we want to listen to class, we need board, classroom, container, and that's it. So this all called environments. So if this environment is not there, we cannot run the class. So here also example, same thing in computer. In computer also, the environment is OS, operating system. So this operating system is handling the tasks. This operating system is handling the tasks that we are calling functions. Task we can call, or you can call even work also, some work. So the operating system is, it is handling the work, some work. Okay, so that work is categorized, divided. So that work is divided. So that is as shown in the notes now. So it is memory management, processor management, device management, file management, security. It is control over system performance, job accounting, error detecting aids, coordination between other software and users. So these are all called functions. We can say that these are all called functions. We can call work, we can call functions, we can call task. So anything is fine. I will see one by one now. So what is memory management? What is memory management? See, generally in our daily life, so a family can be uh, all tasks. A family can be divided all their uh, personal tasks. I mean, their home related tasks. Somebody will bring the vegetables, somebody will cook the food, and somebody will earn the money. Somebody will, do the other side job. So these are all called the different works that a family has to complete for their everyday life. The same way, this operating system is also, it needs to complete all the tasks, all the tasks assigned by to it. So that is, these are all categories. So that is memory management. So some components will take the memory related tasks, some component will take the security related tasks, some component will take the job accounting task. So like this. So memory management, we understood that the memory means store the data. There are so many types of memories. We are not going in depth about it. So it manages the primary memory and the main memory. So what is the job of the memory management here is, it is it is managing. I mean, it is handling primary memory and main memory. So main memory is a very large. Main memory is very large it is, and it provides some main memory. It provides fast storage. Fast storage means we can store the data very fast. We can store the data very fast. So we can compare this with your old phones and with the new phones, smartphones. The smartphone, you can store the data very fast. In old phones, it will take a little more time than comparing to the smartphones. So main memory here is, it is very large, and it provides fast storage, and we can access this storage directly by the CPU. We can access the storage directly by the CPU. So here is a CPU is there, or CPU. So this memory we can directly access by the CPU. So that is the meaning of this. So it is the main memory management job. There's so much things are there to understand. So this much is enough to understand the concept. So main memory is a large memory, and it provides the fast storage, and this memory can be accessed by the CPU directly. These three things are more enough. And then processor management. Now, what does a processor does then? What processor is that will carry the task? So here operating system is decides now which process. Here process you can understand that process means it is a task. It is a task. Or you can say it is a job or work. You can say work also. You can say job also. So your process is a job, some job. So this process gets the processor. So if you wanted to complete one job, you required somebody assistance, you required something to complete that job. If you wanted to travel from one place to other place, if you wanted to travel, you need a vehicle. I mean, we need a vehicle. Okay, this vehicle is the processor here. So who is processing our transportation here? Transportation is what? Here is a task, is a process. In OS terminology, we call it a process. So this process is handled by this vehicle. This vehicle is a processor. So like this, you can understand. So this function mean the processor is completing the process. So this function is called process scheduling. This type of task is called process scheduling. So that you can understand like that, process management. And then device management. This one more type of function, device management. And this device management, uh, communication for the respective their drivers. So yeah, drivers, you can understand that the devices associated with one software. You can understand that this drivers means the devices. You can say devices. You can say example. This is a keyboard. This keyboard devices associated with software. Device associated with software. So what is the activities it does is, means what are the task it does is, it keep tracks all the devices. Means a tracking. You can say tracking is one functionality it does, means it carries. And program responsible, it is known as IO controller. So who is responsible for this is IO controller. So this is next one is a file management. File management. So what is a file? You know very well. In a computer, whatever the folder you create, inside this folder, you save the files. You save the files. So a file system is normally organized into directories. So these here in this case, this folder you can call directory, and this is a file. So what is the advantage with this? We can easily navigate. Navigate means we can easily access. Here navigate means what here? Access. We can easily access and use. If you don't have this folder, this directory concept, if you don't create any folder for your separate files, it will take some time to access those files. So that is a problem. So it is what this file management is doing for us is it is keep tracking the information. It is tracking the information. It is locating usage, users, and status. So there are so many things it will carry. So where the file exactly located and where it, what is the information it contains, what kind of information it contains. So these are all things. So these are all the functions. These are all the operating system function, device management and processor management, memory management. And other important activities comes under here is there are securities there and system performance, job accounting, error detection aids. So these comes under the other important activities category. And the next, what is exactly a process? Yeah, just we understood that just before we understood process means it is a job. Process means it is a job. So this job is having some kind of phases, phases here we can call steps. We can call steps. So this steps is called food process. So what exactly we are talking about is food process. Food process. So how the troubleshooting issues which can occur. Troubleshooting means when you switch on the computer or when you are accessing any data. So what kind of issues that occurs that comes is during the boot. That is that type of issues are hardware level or at the operating system level. The two types of issues we can get while you are booting the process. While booting the process, we can get the hardware level issues and the operating system level issues. So for that, we need to follow some multiple phases. These are multiple phases. So here, so one phase is power supply input is there, and the BIOS and CMOS is there. Post test is there. Reading the partition table, the bootloader, the kernel and RAM disk, and OS kernel runs level and getting. So these are all the types. So most of the people are using the computer. You come across all these steps. So not much important. Just you go through that all these steps. We'll discuss some other important topic. And command line interface. This is also very much important topic. Command line interface. So most of us, the people who are using nowadays computers, in beginning days, we has the command called DOS commands are there. Yes, DOS commands in olden days. I mean, when we beginning, we are learning the 98, 90s at the time. So this is the command line generally. The screenshot is showing the command line. Nowadays, we are accessing any data with mouse. See, now we are accessing the data with mouse and keyboard. But in earlier days, earlier days, earlier days, we used to access access the data commands. The commands. That means every task, every task there is one command. Every task there is one command. Now present market also having Linux is there. Linux is command line. Windows is also their command line. So these operating systems use the command line now. All commands. All commands. So example you can see. So what are the operations you can perform here is. Here the mouse will not work in this command line. In this command line prompt, the mouse will not work. If you have a computer, you can open the DOS operating system. You can understand whether the mouse going to work or not. Or if you have any other Linux or shell scripting Windows, then you can understand this command line. What are the kind of activities we can complete here is the activities we can complete. We can use the text files. Here move means what? Move. We can move from one place to another place. Move from one place to another place. One place to another place. So for that we have command called move. Move is the command. So what you can move here is any data, any, any files, any files of any you can say that file formats. Example.txt is a file format. Any files of any file format can be moved from one place to another place. So for that, the command is move command. Command is move command. So we can also even take backup. And for that we can use the backup command. So like this, each and every task, each and every task is having one command to complete that. So this is command line. This command line in Windows, you can say in Linux command line is there, in Windows command line is there. You can see here Unix, Linux, the command lines are there. So we can use all these commands. We can practice all these commands if you have a computer. Then you will understand the wildcard characters also. You can do practice. So these we can understand with examples. How to use percentage, how to use asterisk, when to use question mark, and bracket, wildcard characters. So this we are talking about the MS-DOS environment. The commands we are talking about the MS-DOS environment. If you have a computer, you can apply all these commands. The percentage, asterisk, question mark. These are all commands you can practice in your computer so that you will understand what the purpose of that. And next most important topic is Same operating system command line, there is a GUI based command line. You can say graphical user interface. Here, GUI means graphical user interface. Operating system. Now, just we discussed this command line operating system, how the command line will be used in the operating system, and the graphical user, how the graphical user interface works in the operating system. So yeah, GUI is very popular. Now, whatever you are using computers nowadays, the computers, their mobile phones, and earlier we discussed all types of computers. All types of computers will use GUI, graphical user interface, GUI. So without GUI, they will not work. You just check in your computer that you just remove the keyboard and mouse. Whether are you going to access the computer or not, you will understand. So we have to depend on command line. Even command line also we required a keyboard at least. So that type of interaction, the type of interaction is called graphical user interface. So we are interacting with the computer by using the GUI, graphical user interface. So what we can do with this is, so these are some, so this is the hierarchy. You can say this is an hierarchy. This is an hierarchy. So there is a user. User means we are the users. We are user here means the user, any person using computer. Any person using computer is called user. So first user is connected. Start with user will connect the computer. So then who is taking the next control is graphical interface. Then there's a display server will be there, kernel will be there, and then hardware. So this is an hierarchy. The concentration is, so how to start the GUI means how to use the GUI. So GUI we can start with the start menu. One kind of task or one kind of service you can use is start menu. So this is an example of the start menu. If anybody using the old computers, the start menu looks like this. If you're using Windows 7 and all. Now latest on Windows 11 and all, the user, the start menu might be different. You can check with that Windows 7 or 8 and 10, 11, how the start menu here is. So when you open the computer, it looks like this. This is the start menu. So start menu, it provides list of commands to perform various jobs and applications. So what a start menu contains here is, uh, it contains a list of commands. Here, see, here commands means these are all commands. These are all commands. Or you can say these are all commands. You can say these are all commands. So these commands, when you start the start menu, these commands will display there. These commands will display. So these commands will perform jobs. Means control panel perform one job, device management perform one job. Say you take here The device and printers one job, control panel is one job. Here say games one job, music one job, picture is one job, documents is one job. So these are all components will carry their own types of jobs. So this is called the start menu. What a start menu contains mean these many things that it will contains all the commands which performs the jobs. Next one is control panel. This is very much important control panel. What a control panel contains. So they given the Windows 10 control panel here. The control panel contains so many settings related data it is. So these are comes under the control panel. So this comes in the control panel. So you can check in your computer. So what kind of activities this control panel can complete? User accounts, we can accounts related, user account related task is completed by this component. And the appearance, we are changing the computer background and all. That type of job we can complete with this option. And related clock, time and language and region. This control panel, this option you can complete. And if you wanted to uninstall any program, then this component will complete the task. So hardware related, this one, network related, internet, and this one, and system and security, and this one. So when you open the control panel, you will understand each and every point. But that you have to practice, then only you will understand. So theoretically, it is not possible to understand all these settings related the uh, job they perform. Now using multiple windows, we can go through these what these multiple windows. We can use all multiple windows, not only one window. Customizing the desktop. Customizing means you can change according to your requirement. Yes, this is called customization. So if this background is this background is brinjal. If you wanted to turn it into some other color, you can use this personalize. So this comes under the personalization. So these are all very important, and Windows accessories means what are extra softwares or extra options that a operating system can contain. Calculator is one kind of accessories, so every computer will contain. Generally, we call accessories which are coming extra for the particular device. Snipping tool is one accessory. You can take any screenshots if you want. You can use the snipping tool for snapshot. And notepad is one accessory. WordPad is one accessory. So if you have a computer, you know all these. What is WordPad? What is notepad and all. Paint is one accessory. If anything, if you wanted to draw, the paint you can use. And this is character map is one accessory. System tools, disk cleanup is one accessory. So these are all accessories. Just to go through that, you will understand. Now, next most important is computer security related. Computer security related. What is virus? What is antivirus? What is hacking, malware, firewalls? These are all very important. These are very important to understand. Classifications of computer virus and worms. And what is an hacking? What is a malware? Firewall types, antivirus software, cryptography. These are all very important to understand. Now, the every computer you have to have antivirus. So why we are installing the antivirus means we are every day we access so many websites. So every website data we are accessing. So when you access the website, so knowingly, unknowingly, without our involvement, some virus can be dumped into your computer. So these are those who will damage your computer data. The softwares I'm talking. The softwares which damage your computer data is an virus. Is an virus. And to prevent that, we need to use the antivirus. We need to use the antivirus. So there are so many types of virus are there here. Boot sector virus, file deleting viruses, mass mailer viruses, macro viruses, polymorphic viruses. So these are all types of viruses. So moral, what is the virus here is the virus will uh, delete delete your complete data without your involvement. You will not delete automatically, the virus will delete automatically the complete data. So that type of software is a virus. Now, based on its nature, based on its how much data it is deleting or how the data will be deleted, that is divided. So, so one is a boot sector virus. So it infects the sectors of the hard drive. So that is boot sector viruses. And file deleting is it delete the files in your computer. You can delete the files in a computer. So mass mailer viruses, it is mass mailer viruses. It is search for all email programs which are stored in your address book, and it will duplicate. I mean, it will duplicate all the mail addresses. So just go to all these things. And worms also same like a viruses. The worm is similar like a virus. It also duplicate, self-duplicate it is. Self-duplicate. If there is one file is infected and it will duplicate multiple times in a different type. So that type of viruses and worms. So these are also different types of worms are there. Email worms, instant messaging worms. These are so that is very much important. You can go through that. And hacking is one more type of stealing your data. You can say that, or exploiting your computer system or your network. You can say that can steal your data, or that can exploit your computer network, your computer data without you give the permission to the hackers. That is called unauthorized access. People who enter into your computer, the people who enter into your computer without your permission, without your permission. So these hackers, they hack the different types of they apply the different types of techniques. They can hack the password. They can packet snippets, that spoofing attack, the rootkit, Trojan horse, viruses, keyloggers. So these are all techniques. These are all techniques they apply to steal your data, to damage your computer data. Just go through the firewall types also comes into one more type of protecting your data. If you wanted to protect your data, We'll discuss some other important. And anti-software you have to install to protect your data. Antivirus, you can say that. Antivirus is a software. Yeah, antivirus you can install the antivirus to protect the data. So job of the antivirus is it protects the virus. It will not enter. It will take all precautions. The virus will not enter into your computer. So that is antivirus. The next blocks is so very quickly we will understand what is understanding ICT in different areas. So how the ICT is useful, the ICT is useful for teaching and learning. How the ICT can be uses, the ICT can be using the softwares, proprietary and open source softwares, their policies. So this is very much important. So here the proprietary and open source softwares, proprietary and open source software. The ICT will use proprietary and open source softwares. The two things that we use. Here open source software, it is free of cost. It is open source software is free. It is free of cost. And the proprietary software is it is price. I mean you have to pay for this. We have to pay for this. Proprietary software you have to pay for that, and open source software is free of cost. So that is the meaning of the open source software and proprietary software. And what are the open source softwares? The alternatives were alternative applications for open source is we can use Calligra is one you can use, and LibreOffice is one, and NeoOffice, OpenOffice. So these we can use it under the open source software. And what are the licensing policies for the open source software is you have to understand their policies, but your academic level this much uh, that is not required. So what are the legal impact of open source and free software licensing? So when you're using any software, uh, open source, open source also and is having some kind of policies, and free software is also having some kind of policies. So the policies we have to understand when you're using these softwares. So they will have the contract. They will have the contract. So we have to follow their contracts. So any software you use that contain their policies, agreements. So without you agree to their agreement, they won't give you the software. So that is the understanding their agreements and policies. So that is one more. And what is the role of the ICT for if you wanted to teach or if you wanted to learn? If you wanted to teach any subject for to anybody for your elders or youngers, or if you wanted to learn any subject in online, what is the role of the ICT there? What is the role of the ICT is there is so one is we have to use the internet. So your ICT, if you wanted to teach or if you wanted to learn, so one thing you should have is internet as a learning resource. So without internet, we cannot teach or we cannot learn. So that it is one. So in the internet, it is one mobile learning. If you are using the smartphones, if you are using the smartphones, that's called mobile learning. So you can use any kind of subjects in mobile, or you can teach the subject through mobile. So both the modes you can use the mobile phone. The next one is cloud computing. Here, cloud computing, you can use the applications, software, you can call it as an software, these applications. So these applications will give us support to learn or to teach both the tasks. The cloud computing is having the applications. These applications we can use to teach and to learn. So that type of support comes under the cloud computing side. And one-to-one computing is we can have the uh, client server based. This is one-to-one computing. Personalized learning here is there are some softwares which can assist you personal training, or that is NPTEL is one of the most popular platform for personalized training. There are so many other also there. Swayam is there, Udacity, Coursera, education. These are all personalized platforms to learn any subject. NPTEL, and most of the people know what is NPTEL and how to learn the subjects through NPTEL. Now you can access this. You can register and you can access these NPTEL. It is a core branches. It is covering core branches. Civil, computer science, electrical, electronics, communication, mechanical. So the core branches it is covering. So these are ICTs in teaching and learning. You can use ICT for education. You can use. So nowadays, most of the people. So I can't. So I know it's nobody is there. No, without using ICT nowadays in education. So many people are using ICT in education. They are using computer. They are using the internet. They are using the softwares. They are using the some other devices. So a lot of things are involved in the ICT nowadays. Now, there are important to understand is so impact. What is the impact of the ICT? What is the impact of the ICT on learners? Can say here, learners. Those who are learning any subject through ICT, what is the impact here is the one impact is real world problems. The one impact is feedback and reflecting guidance and local and global communities and extending the teacher learning. So this is for the learners. These are the impacts of the learners, and the impacts of the teacher here is. So what is the why the teachers will use the technology in education? The motivation, the instructional abilities, the high productivity of teachers. So these are the some of the factors that the on teachers it impact on the teachers. And we can use the ICT for evaluation. Any kind of evaluation if you wanted to apply. If you wanted to apply on student, if you wanted to apply on your teaching skills, if you wanted to apply on any kind of evaluation, you can use ICT. That is one. And for the documentation and the communication, if you wanted to apply the ICT for documentation and communication, so we can use the different kinds of devices for documenting different kinds of devices for communication. So that is the ICT for documenting and communication. Now, uses of ICT. This is also very most important question for your exam. So, where you can apply the ICT, where you can use the ICT here is. So, you can use ICT in everywhere nowadays. It is integrated like anything in the society and in a people's life. We can say that. So, there's no field is there in the nowadays. There's no field is there nowadays without ICT. I think we can use it in governance, we can use it in commerce, we can use it in commerce, we can use it in nowadays you can say Facebook and WhatsApp, Twitter. You can say it is old and Twitter. Nowadays it's an X, and we can use it in email. So these are the areas where we use the ICTs. So these are all about the ICT. So ICT in governance, e-governance, how to apply the ICT in e-governance. So what is the benefit we get? What is the benefit we get here is it can increase the accountability, transparency in e-governance. I'm talking about the e-governance. It can increase the accountability, it can increase the transparency. So there is no hiding the data. Everything is visible. There is no hiding the data. It can reduce the corruption. So these are all points you have to validate whether they're going to work efficiently or not. So Indian government has come up with the 12 points in national e-governance in 2000. So these are all very important. You have to make a note of this. The 12 point series, one point is all staff with PC is provided with adequate training. So this is taken as a very important uh, principle or policy by the government. So everybody they have to have the computer with the training. They should have trained on the softwares. So these are the policies. The 12 policies the government has uh, uh, introduced under the e-governance education policy. Now the technology for the e-governance, the all schools connected with the broadband. Now if you wanted to use the ICT, you should have the internet connection and you should have the free Wi-Fi in all schools and digital literacy program. So these are all the technology, the implementation in the education. And healthcare also same. And the technology for planning, any planning if you wanted to apply. So these are all the areas the ICT is implemented. So this is about the here important you can concentrate here is can concentrate computer types of computers and types of operating systems, functions, operating systems, and ICT role in teaching and learning, as well as ICT role in ICT role in education and e-governance. So these are questions I can expect, and other than these, you can, if you have time, you can concentrate on other topics also. So this is about the your ICT subject. So thank you very much for your all and good luck for your exam. Yeah, now the class is over. If you have any doubts, you can put it in the chat box.